Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Precious Dorsey, and this is my co-star.
Husband.
And today we are going to be talking about dealing with grief while trusting God during the process. So today we found out that my husband, one of his best friends, was found deceased yesterday. And so he's going to talk about how he dealing with it, his grief, and also I will talk about my grief that the friends I have lost also along the way.
So we've actually both lost a number of people close to us over the past couple of years. You could say since right before the pandemic, I guess like 19, that summer was the first summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just almost like every year since then, just different people in our lives. And this is, for me, the first person that has been this close to me that I have lost. Because we have other like folks in our, like who I grew up with in my school that have passed away that were like a little bit older than me and like my classmates and stuff, but like never one of us, like never someone from my class, let alone like my best friend, one of my very close friends. I have a couple of very close friends from like elementary and middle school, and this guy in particular, like we went to church together. We were in the same church from when I was born, practically his family, my family. And just our whole circle of friends in our elementary school and our middle school, we just still, like, we all were very close growing up. And even to this day, like when we heard the news, I've got folks, that were calling me who I was very close with, and I consider my brothers or my sisters from growing up. So it's like, it's very like strange because you just don't expect one of your people to be the ones, that pass away early. Like we're in our 20s, like this is not something that you would expect. I mean, some of the neighborhoods that some of my friends have grown up in, a lot of their friends have not made it past 20. And I always felt like for us in our class, like we were gonna be different. And for the most part we have. So this situation and the ones that we've dealt with have all been unexpected for the most part. I mean, There's only one situation that like we knew that relative was not, like, she was sick. I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But we still weren't expecting her to pass away when she did, because she had a battle with the sickness at that point for a while and off and on had success with it, and then would go back into having to deal with it. So the first point, I guess, that I want to make is that when you are grieving, it a lot of times, even just a situation, the person's death, it won't make sense to you. We are dealing with the situation with the school shootings, even recently the school shooting in I think Uvalde, Texas. Mm-hmm. Don't make no sense why someone would want to do that, whether they've been bullied, whether someone said something to them. I mean, for this person to pick a random class of people who have nothing to do with him, and decide to take their lives or attempt to take all of their lives, is beyond, it just don't make no sense. It really just doesn't make any sense. And so the same thing with when you encounter having to deal with someone who you are very close with or you knew or were friends with passing away, mm-hmm. especially unexpectedly, it's crazy. It's like you feel numb. You feel like there's nothing really that you can do, and all you think about is what you should have done. Had you talked to this person more, maybe I should have hit my friend up like Christmas or this past summer. Like last time I talked to him, I think was 19. So it's like And even that, you know, sometimes there are people going through situations where you just feel like maybe they don't want to talk. Maybe they just, you don't want to bother them. You know, you don't want to come off as, oh, I'm so high and mighty and I'm trying to help fix you or anything like that. You just want to like tell them that you hear them and you understand them. But it can be hard to do that sometimes just because you don't know where that person is at in their life. You don't know what struggles they're going through. My best friend in particular, had dealt with passing of his one of his close relatives a couple years ago, and I knew that bothered him. But like, I don't know how much of that I need to talk to him about. You know what I'm saying? Over the past couple of years, there's nothing I could say that's going to bring his grandma back. You know, there's nothing I could say that's going to make him feel better about that. And that's kind of what I was going through over the past years, and just kind of like, I would reach out, but then, you know, I would just kind of try to gauge it and just, you know, keep my distance, I guess, when I needed to, but then still try to reach out every once in a while just to check on him and stuff like that. So like, it just can be difficult. And I think when you don't understand it, when you don't have a clue about what to do, you have to understand that God is going to make sense of it as time goes on. Time doesn't always heal things, but it allows you, I guess, more time to come to terms.
I'm sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead. Yeah.
I feel like it just allow you to better cope with it. You know, a lot of people say time heals. I don't think me personally, from my opinion, I don't think I would never heal from it. I just think that I will be able to deal with the grieving process a lot better, and something that is like, you know, very challenging, but something that we have to do, because, you know, the world is still going to be moving. So you don't want to, you know, sit in your sorrow and just, while the world's moving, you don't want to do that. So yeah, it's one of those things that, like, you will be probably numb for a while. Like, you can see, I don't know how to feel. I love my friend. Like, talking about it makes me want to cry. I told my mom and she cried, because that's practically her son too. And so it's just like, I'm not trying to cry on YouTube, but I'm gonna cry at some point, you know. But I don't know how to feel, because I'm not gonna get to tell him I love him to his face. I'm not gonna get to hug him. I'm not gonna get to have him introduce me to his kids, and us have our kids talk to each other and have a play date and just talk about old times again and joan on each other, and him put me in a headlock. Like, all the stuff that we used to do is not happening no more. And it's just like, it can be difficult to try to come to terms with that. I think the biggest thing is that you don't have to come to terms with it in one day. You don't gotta come to terms with it in any time frame. I think you have to allow God to bring you to terms with what He's got planned. And even depending on how that person dies, I've had friends who have died from suicide. I don't know if that's what this is. I hope that it's not. But I have had friends who have died from suicide. And I have to believe that God has some sort of plan. I'm Catholic, and so naturally Catholics believe that suicide isn't the best way to go. But even still, I know that God has mercy on all of us, no matter what sin you commit, as long as you believe in Him. And so I don't know exactly what plan He has for those who have committed suicide, but I know that those who have committed suicide aren't in their right mind anyways. So how can they be to blame completely for taking their lives? You know, we don't have all the answers, but you have to lean on your faith
And even if it's just not that you have to be the most faithful person in the world, you don't have to be the strongest Christian, you just have to have a little bit of faith. You just have to be able to say, you can be upset, you can be confused, but you have to allow yourself to put it on God at the end of the day. And that's what I'm gonna do, and what I have done in the past in similar situations. I'm going to the funeral. I'm gonna hug all of my old classmates, his mom, his sister, his family, uncles, nieces, nephews, and I'm gonna be there for them, and I'm gonna do everything that I can for his kids. I'm gonna do everything that I can, and that's all that I can do, So, yeah.
I can say how I dealt with grief. When I would say 2019, it was July 23rd, and that's when I say that was the biggest shocker of me losing one of my friends. And that was really hard. I lost both. I lost two friends in 2019. April the 21st, I believe, I lost my first friend, and then July 23rd, that's my other friend that had passed, and it was really hard. So when I found out that my friend who I went to school with in college, he was really like my homie, and really he was really my friend. And you know how we was the funny thing is we liked each other, but we never dated or anything like that. So we just stayed, we just were really good friends, just stayed connected, and I remember we always were joking, we joked, we hung out. We was on track team, so we was around each other all the time. And I remember, after we left college, I went our separate ways. I went to a 2 so when I went to college, I went to a JUCO, so I went to a 2-year school. So that means, as in my sophomore year, we have to get a scholarship, and you go to another bigger school, whatever school you end up going to. So I ended up going to Kentucky. I ended up going somewhere in Maryland, and so we kind of stayed in contact, every when we could. And he thought about coming to Kentucky and stuff like that. And so we talked, like I say, every blue moon. And then one day randomly, I just got on Facebook, and I seen that he was killed. And the way I cried was it was devastating. I was so I was really sad. I'm trying to think, was it 2019?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Or was it? I think it was. Maybe it was 2020.
It could have been 20. So it was 119, and the next one was 20.
Yeah, maybe it could have been.
Was he first?
No, it was it was 2019, I believe. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure. But he was first. Then my friend who was a girl passed after him. And when I tell you, I cried. I cried so bad. I was having dreams about him, and just how when somebody passed away who you love, and you have a dream about them, and you miss them, and you just in that dream you're getting your last goodbye type of thing. and I was experiencing dreams like that. And like Fred would tell you, I was just like really just down. I talked about him like all the time, and I was a point where I couldn't even say his name because I would like start crying, and or I couldn't even like speak too much while I started crying. And that's something that I say was really tough for me. And then like a couple like months later, I lost another friend to gun violence. And so he was also, gun violence. He was murdering my friend too from high school. She also died from gun violence. And they both hit hard. But when I found out about her, that was really tough for me. I mean, she was just a really loving, caring, genuine person, and just goofy, like she was someone you would love to be around. And to just think that, she had, a child, and she was also pregnant too as well. So, I just randomly think about both of them, the most, and it just, can catch you off guard. It catch me off guard, and I'm just like, I just be shocked, like, wow, like, like you're really not here anymore. Like that's the thing. What I think that gets me is like when somebody actually die, like they never coming back. Like I literally be in my mind like I would never see you again. I would never like be able to like go back home and like say hey or nothing like that. So I think that's what's really like get me is the most is like that person is gone forever. And it was times where I would just, fear came upon me because I was just really scared of dying at one point in time when I was just like, I got my kids, I got my husband, like my family and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I don't want to die type of thing. And, as in time passed, I got closer with God and I understood that, this is our temporary home and our home forever is to be with the Lord. And I had to realize that, and it took me some time too, and some tears as well, because like I said, when I lost my friends, it was really challenging, and I was really sad, but I knew that I couldn't dull and just be depressed or anything. I had to really put myself together and be there for my I have kids. I mean, I just can't sit in the room in the bed and just want to be in the bed all day and not get up. I can't do that. And like I say, when somebody passed away who you truly love, and you just sit and think like the world is still functioning after somebody who I love has passed away. The world is still moving. Like it's still going. Like how can the world still go if somebody this close and this good of a person just left, And to think about it is just like, even though you're sad and you are dealing with that type of pain and that hurt, in the morning it will feel a tad bit better. You would feel a tad bit better. If you have to cry, you have to scream, you have to yell, you have to listen to a song that reminds you of them over and over and over again to just bring comfort to you, I say do it, because that's what I did. I cried basically maybe 2-3 times a week, or in the shower, or I was just laying down, I can hear a song and I'm crying, or I watch a movie or something like that. Something always reminded me of them. Like I say, I was super close to my guy friend. But like we had went to different colleges and stuff like that. And so it's just like when that person was so important to me, at that state, like that time frame in my life, and you don't expect, your friends or to die in 20s. I'm thinking like we're gonna live to be on Facebook until we 70, 80 years old. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Or 90 and up, And it's it's a shocker. And even for my, my girl, who passed, she was actually my cousin. And I found out we was cousin when I was in the 9th grade in high school. No, I take that back. I found out we was cousin in middle school, because we went to middle school together and high school together. So I found out 8th grade year that me and her was cousins. And, she was really like a firecracker. Like she spoke her mind. Like she was just she was a loving person. And I, to be honest, I questioned God. And I was just like, God, like, how could you let this happen? I was just really upset. I'm like, this girl had a baby. Like, she had a son. She was pregnant. And just like, the soul that she had, was magical. And it was just, she would just make you feel good. And I'm just like, for her to, die the way she did is really like, it really broke my heart. And I was really shocked. I mean, I couldn't even stop crying. When I think about her, every time like I think about her, I cried. I get teary-eyed. I just get emotional. And it's just a feeling of like something that you can't explain. Like, people always ask you, how you feeling or how you doing. It's like, I don't know how I'm doing. I know how I'm feeling. It's like a numb feeling, or like a feeling of just emptiness when you just don't want to talk about it. You'd rather just sit in silence, because it's like a undescribable pain. It's like a pain you can't describe. Like, not like, like when you fall and scrape your knee up, or you get a paper cut, something like that. You can describe that pain. But when something like this, it aches your soul. It's a pain that you really can't describe. And I literally say, like, I had to get to know God truly, to understand how to deal with grief, and not to cry every time I say their names or think about them. But I tell you, every day they cross my mind. And I think about them all the time. And it's just, it made me realize how blessed I am to still be here, to be with my husband and my kids and my family, and to just be able to breathe. I mean, just thank God for another day, honestly, because we really don't know. Like my friend, like my cousin, like she was just, like, I just seen, like 2019, I just seen her on Snapchat, like literally joking in the car, being crazy, funny. And then, a couple of, like, weeks after that, she's gone. So I was just like, how? Like, it was a point where I couldn't even talk about the situation. I couldn't even talk about it without crying. Even with my friend, my guy friend, I couldn't talk about the situation without crying. I cried. I just was really hurt. And I just felt like, a broken. But I truly have to say, I thank God for giving me the strength and putting me back together. And, my husband here as well, just, helping me, and just being a listening ear, honestly, just allowing me to talk and to grieve. And, God He was there during the whole thing. I felt His presence. I felt, calmness come on my soul, and not for me to be so angry at Him. So I had to realize that, it's an evil spirit out here as well. And we always seem to blame God when something goes wrong. And I had to, me personally, had to remind myself that the devil is also real. He also is a spirit. It's an evil spirit. And he wanted to kill, steal, and destroy. So he would do everything his might to do so. Taking your loved ones, allowing things to happen to you, raping, you know what I'm saying? He allowed rape, he allowed molesting, he allowed, you know, murder, he allowed all these things. And we don't really think that the devil is working. We always blame God, like, God, why you let that happen? Or God, how can you let this happen? And we gotta understand that God is he is always there. God cannot, he can't stop it.
He can, but he won't stop it.
Yeah, he can, but he won't, because he made a covenant.
Yeah, it's allowing us to have free will.
Yeah, he allowed us to have free will.
So everything has to play out.
Exactly. So like, if God can't break his covenant, because he break his covenant, he got to break it with night and day, and he can't do that. So it's like, you don't think God want to stop all this stuff that's going on, and think he's not angry and upset? And I'm like, you know, God's hurting just like we hurt to see these people who he created to do out here doing the things that they're doing. Like, these folks, you know, killed my friends. And, you know, I had to realize, like, this is nothing but the devil, to try to destroy those beautiful souls and take and kill and just, you know, hurt. It was really painful. And I had to understand that God, he is there. And I just pray their souls are at peace and they're resting. I truly do. And also for their, you know, their family as well. It's something that, you know, dealing with grief is like a pain of, it's a pain that it's like, you really want to get to bed. You just want to lay there in the bed and you just space out. Just look at that wall and you just stare at it for hours. And then while tears go down your face, you just slowly close your eyes and you just bawl crying and just fall asleep. That's how I be feeling sometimes. And I knew I couldn't stay there. I knew I couldn't stay in that sorrow, because I lost a lot of friends along the way, who was murdered to, you know, deal with gun violence, and who also committed suicide. And so it's just a shock, you know. It really is. And it's really something, like I say, I just can't explain, because you don't expect the people who once was so important in your life at that time. You think that you would have time to go on Facebook or something and see them doing good, and, you know, see them, you know, just living their lives, and, you know, just having fun, enjoying it. And, you know, okay, well, it's just me now. My daughter woke up, so my husband had to go take care of her. So I'm just gonna finish out the video, and I just want to say, like, losing someone that you truly like, who you love, or, you know, a friend who was there for you at some point in time in your life, it can be an emotional roller coaster. But you have to find your way out of it. And that's something that I had to realize. And it's okay to cry, like, I mean, like, you have to ball up like a baby, and you have to fall to the ground. I mean, cry it out, scream, yell, throw something. I mean, whatever you got to do to get that anger out, get it out. Do not hold it in. I'm telling you, don't hold it in. It will, when I say it will, like, make your insides, like, just numb to feeling. It just make you want to feel nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay, but don't sit in the sorrow. Don't. Ooh, Do not sit in the sorrow. Allow God to comfort you. Allow God to comfort you. Allow healing to take its course. I'm not gonna tell you it's gonna take tomorrow. Healing take time. When I say time, it takes time. It can take 10, 20, 35, 50 years. It can take time. But, remember them of how they was, what they did for you, like how they loved you, how they supported you, how they cared for you, I remember how they smell. I remember their touch, their hugs, their kisses, you know what I'm saying? Remember all the good things that made you just smile and be like, man, I just miss that girl, or man, I just miss that boy, you know what I'm saying? Or, whoever your loved one that you have lost, just remember them and remember how they made you feel so loved. And those memories will bring you joy. It will bring you happiness. You will still miss them. You still may shed a tear when you see a picture, read a book, hear a song. It still can be emotional. But that emotional will become as happy tears. And just showing, it would just show you of how strong a person that you are. How strong that you can be. And it's something that it's like wow, I'll be trying not to get emotional because I tend to bury my feelings deep down below my feet. But when I lost my friends, man, that was really hard. And to notice how good, they was amazing people, man. Like, in that period of my time, my life, there was people who brought me joy, love, and happiness, and just love being around them, in the classroom, at the track, at the lunch table, you know what I'm saying? I have learned how to I just take deep breaths and I just be like, think of them, I just randomly think of like a memory. I just laugh. I'm like, bro, that's so crazy. Like, I miss that girl, or I miss that boy. I really, truly had to realize that, this is our temporary home. God really created this world and created mankind. We have a purpose here. And I realized when our purpose is fulfilled, we're coming back to Him. We go back to Him. Now, if you live right and be obedient, trust and have faith in Him, and know that Jesus died for us, and you'll go back to God. And I'm realizing that this is our temporary home, and I know, like, wow, when we really gonna leave, and we not gonna come back. I was at a point where I was afraid to die. And it's not being afraid of if I'm gonna go to heaven or hell, more so of living without my children, my husband, my family. Like, I was at a point where I'm just like, I don't know if I'd be able to handle that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'd be, you know what I'm saying? I just, from a girl who were dealing with so much growing up, I was asking God to kill me in my prayers, asking God death on me. You know what I'm saying? To me being 27 years old, and now like, I don't want to die. I'm afraid to die. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, I know I'll be okay. Because I know where I'm gonna go. And I have to understand this is temporary. I'm here for temporary time. But I'll have eternal life when I leave. And I truly, it was hard. To be honest, it was hard to understand that. But now I truly understand it. And, you know, it's okay to cope. But cope it's a healthy, cope healthy though. Do things healthy when you're grieving. Go for a walk, sit on the porch. If you have to go start exercising, you know, change your eating habits. You know, or be around people who will uplift you, give you, put strength in you. You know, speak those positive words to you. You know, lift you up, make you feel good. You know, go out to eat by yourself. I mean, if you like by yourself, go out to eat, or go with, you know, family and friends. Just somebody, just be around somebody. If you want to be alone, do that. Get out the house. You know, watch a movie. You know, something. You know, and I had to understand that. And I truly thank God for having open arms and holding me in my heart, like holding my soul, you know, holding me with comfort, with love and joy and good memories of them, and just knowing I know they at peace, man. I pray their soul is at peace. They was truly beautiful people. And I just pray for their families, you know, because those, man, I just tell you, man, grieving is so many emotions. But just make sure you have some healthy emotions. It's a beautiful thing of healing. Healing's beautiful. You realize how strong you is. You really do. And like I said, it was a point where I couldn't even talk about my friends. I just didn't say nothing because I was cry every time. And now I can talk about it, and I, you know, shed a little tear. I just took them things and put them things bottom of my feet, and I just be like, okay, you know. So, but you know, I just want to say, for anybody out here who is grieving, I pray that God grants you strength. He grants you love, peace of mind. He comforts you. He heals your soul. I pray he heal you. I just pray that you know that you're not alone. God is always there. Just talk to him. Just talk. No matter what, just talk. No matter where you are, just talk. And I just pray. I honestly pray that healing would take course, and it will be a healthy healing, great memories of them, you remembering of them. And I just pray that you don't give up, and you know, you fight, and you get through life being kind, being genuine, and just go outside, go for a walk, get some fresh air, the healing air. Let them trees heal you. Just look at the sky. If you have to lay on the ground with a picnic, look up and just take a deep breath and close your eyes. Take a nap outside. relaxes you. Tell you it does. Like, man. I just thank God. You know, I honestly thank God for being a healer and just being here. He helped me through a lot of passing of loved ones, and I could tell you it was hard, but if it wasn't for him, man, I was crying a lot, and I was just felt like broken a little bit, and I started my healing process, and I thank God for that. So start your healing process. Know you're not alone. Know that God loves you. Please know he loves you. I thank you for watching this video. I just want to talk about, you know, that situation. It's a sad situation, but something that a lot of people I know need to hear and understand. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for just being here, being alive. I pray that God bless you. I love you. Like, comment, subscribe. Just thank you so much. Peace.